My name is Charles, and I'll just be handling a few comments before we get underway today. And I want to, of course, thank you all very much for coming out today. Before we get started, I want to take you on just a little bit of a flashback and go all the way back to 1997, where in 1997, myself and a handful of other people started holding breakfast events at the Sheraton in East Hartford with guidance professionals and counseling professionals, and we would sit around a table, about 6 to 10 of us, and talk about how we can help reach and benefit the college-bound family and help them have a successful experience. That expanded eventually into being a lunch event, and the lunch event ran for about an hour and a half at the Hartford Club, and it was very successful, ran for about 10 years. We started to bring in a guest speaker along with myself at that event. And again, it went very nicely. About 3 years ago, we rebranded the whole thing and handed it off to event management and made it a full-day affair, which has now become what we have here, the Guidance Symposium. So the first year that we did this, it was a small group of maybe about 20 people or so. And at that time, we talked about that one day or another, we would have support from companies like Tesla and Chet, and that speakers from companies like Naviance would come. Well, today Naviance is here. We sent out surveys and we asked the attendees, what speakers and what topics would you like to see? And one that came up was, we'd like to learn more about the differences between the SAT and the ACT. Well, today that's here. The surveys also said we'd like to have a financial aid director from one of the local universities, and today we have Susan Hanlon from the UConn Department of Financial Aid. So I'm unbelievably proud of what we've accomplished here so far, and I'm really excited about the direction that we have for the future. The intent is to grow. We'd like to have representatives and attendees from all 3 southern New England states. We'd like to grow the networking and the learning opportunities. We'd like to improve the caliber of the speaker and the sponsors and the workshops within this event. But most important of all, we want it to be your event. We want it to reflect whatever your interest and needs are. We certainly want to continue to grow the event with the networking opportunities and the opportunities to learn and grow from each other. This week we're going to be launching a Twitter page, and as much as I hope that Twitter eventually dies a horrible and painful death, for now it's a very powerful communication tool. To me, the most important part of this event is the feedback. In the coming days, we're going to launch a survey to ask you what you thought of this event and the speakers and the breakouts, and to ask if there are contacts or companies or ideas that you might like to see bring forward for future events. And I invite you please to respond. And thank you, as always, for your support and for attending today. I hope this will be a valuable and useful experience for you, and that in the years to come, we will double, triple, quadruple, and magnify the size of the event to something that is really quite spectacular.